The film opens with a young boy named Costa making a birthday movie starring his friend Thomas Cub in a reality TV-style setting. With his cameraman Dax, Costa barges into Thomas's house and roams around to look for him. While blabbing vulgar teenager stuff, he tastes Thomas's birthday cake from his fridge. Thomas's mother spawns from behind the fridge and startles Costa. Upon her asking, Costa explains to her his birthday movie project, X, for which he will be recording today's activities. He finally finds Thomas, aka the birthday boy, in the bathroom. While Thomas is told to give his introduction in the movie, Thomas's father interrupts the kids and lectures them not to call their school friends over once he and his wife leave for their anniversary weekend getaway. Thomas's father then heads to his room for a private conversation with Thomas's mother, who is afraid of leaving Thomas alone at home. Thomas's father convinces her otherwise, and to prove his point, he calls his son an unpopular outcast who has nothing worth getting concerned about going on in his life. The mother gets reassured and leaves with the father right away, leaving Thomas alone with his friends. They immediately get a sense of freedom and decide to throw Thomas a huge birthday party, but their ulterior motive is to elevate their social status among their peers and fellows. Thomas doesn't approve of their plan, but Costa swears to take care of everything, including security, a large crowd, and some pretty girls. Costa, initiator of every possible trouble, persuades Thomas to drive his parents' minivan to school. When they reach outside school, they meet their group's fourth member, JB, and include him in their party plan early on. Now, they begin promoting their party by handing out flyers, texting their social circle, and posting the invite online. Their promotion turns out to be the opposite of what Thomas had asked of them, because he wanted a small gathering to avoid trouble at his place. Outside school, Thomas tells him to stop with the promotion, so Costa angrily confronts Thomas and blames his loser personality for why none of them get any chicks at school. Now, they get back to the promotion and target hot girls. To get their attention, they make exaggerated claims about the party and make sure that they come. After school, they all head to the grocery store to get food and drinks for the party. There, they spot a Hollywood actor, Miles Teller, buying beers. They become super excited to see him and invite him to their party by overselling the arrangements. On their way back home, Thomas reminds everyone to keep the party limited to their backyard since he doesn't want to trash the house. Instead of going home, Costa forces Thomas to stop by a sketchy drug seller who is okay with selling his stuff to underage kids. After trying some of the stuff, the kids leave without paying, so the drug seller comes after them. He breaks the windshield of Thomas's car and chases them, but they get away. Thomas gets mad about the windshield and thinks of ways to avoid accountability. When they return to the neighborhood, Costa makes a racist move of hiring little black kids, assuming they will be tough enough to be their security. They also go door to door to alert the neighbors about the party in advance, so they don't complain about the commotion during the party. After alerting the neighbors, they return to the house and arrange everything for the party. They act all excited, but deep down, they get anxious about thinking that no one will attend their party. The invited people arrive late, but they keep arriving until Thomas's place becomes fully crowded. Now they turn up the music and offer drinks to everyone. Soon, the school's popular girl, Alexis, arrives and takes everyone's breath away. With her presence, their party officially becomes elite, and more people start arriving because of her. Gradually, the party becomes wild, and someone ties Thomas's pet dog to flying balloons. The dog flies away with the balloons, which Thomas sees, and he takes immediate action to bring the dog back to the surface. Thomas enjoys getting compliments from people about his party, whereas Costa remains busy with girls. Soon, a giant vehicle stops by their place, but Thomas doesn't get the chance to see who it is as people start going inside his house. The vehicle opens, revealing Miles Teller arriving with booze and a dozen girls. Back inside, Thomas announces that the house is forbidden for the party grounds, but no one listens to him due to the loud music. As time goes on, a neighbor named Robert shows up at the front porch to complain about the party getting too loud. Thomas tries to deal with him, but the neighbor becomes loud with the threats, which the little security guard sees as a threat and uses a taser to zap him. The agitated neighbor ends up punching the kid for zapping him, which infuriates Costa to the point where he cusses him out and kicks him out of the party. To be sure he doesn't call the cops, Costa appoints the punched kid to keep a watch for cops or other neighbors. When they head back inside, they find some kids heading upstairs, which is strictly off limits. They make the young security guard take them away. Thomas puts a ribbon in front of the staircase to make sure no more people head upstairs. He worries about Robert, but Costa assures him that he won't call the cops due to their counter threat about reporting him to the cops for assaulting a minor. Thomas loosens up and joins everyone in the pool. As the plot thickens, Costa and JB get girls to flirt with them, despite their awkward personalities and appearances. Thomas dries his hair and approaches the popular girl, Alexis. Together, they do shots. Thomas realizes she's super humble despite her mean girl title. When the party is at its peak, Thomas's parents call on the landline phone to check up on Thomas. Thomas attends the call while being half drunk. He lies to them about the noise, claiming that it's just JB and Costa playing video games. The parents buy his lies and hang up the phone. People crowd the living room, where they dance to loud music and cause a commotion, prompting Thomas to get back in his room with a female friend named Kirby. There, she gives him a party present, which turns out to be a framed childhood picture of them, which is a reminder that they've been together since day one. This sentimental present brings the two closer, and they share a sweet kiss. Outside, Costa gets alerted by the security guards that the cops are on their way to their house. Costa takes immediate action and herds everyone into the backyard to avoid suspicion. Costa hands the camera to the security kid and makes him record them dealing with the cops on the front porch, in front of whom they put on innocent faces and deny the noise complaints made against them. The police don't take it seriously and leave after a small warning. Thomas and Costa return to the backyard and continue the party once again. Everyone starts screaming and shouting with excitement, and plays the loud music again. When kids start to get drunk, the party turns wild, and someone gets tossed out of the glass window. The glass on the window breaks, leaving Thomas in a state of shock. The ecstasy pills make the kids go rogue and do skateboarding on top of Thomas's house panels, due to which they start to get injured. Miles also gets high and breaks a garden gnome, which exposes a pack of ecstasy pills. The pills get scattered on the ground, but everyone pushes one another and fights to get their hands on the pills. Seeing the party getting out of control, Thomas locks himself up in the bathroom and records his confession for his parents, apologizing in advance for the mess that's about to be caused by the wild kids. JB and Costa join him in the bathroom, where they calm him down and reassure him about things turning out well in the end. They don't just say stuff but swear to tidy up his house and replace the damaged goods before his parents return. Thomas gets reassured and softens up. He finally admits to his friends that throwing this party was one of the best things that happened to them. He gives all the credit to Costa for his enthusiastic promotion. Knowing that Thomas is relieved and in a good mood, Costa makes him take an ecstasy pill. Now the trio heads out and takes on the duty of a music DJ, and takes song requests from some strange adults who have joined the party without an invitation. When they head back in the pool, they get to hear from Kirby that some people have put a dwarf man in the oven. They immediately rush to the kitchen and free the dwarf, who is also an uninvited guest. He bursts into anger for being treated like that, so everyone calms him down. After this issue, the trio smokes plant-based drugs like weed and marijuana, which get them high. They lie on the grass in the backyard and have some meaningful conversations about their friendship. Eventually, they head back to the party, where they get all the attention for being the ultimate party throwers. When Thomas singles himself out, Alexis finds him and gets intimate with him. Kirby walks in on them and gets heartbroken. As she walks away, Thomas pushes Alexis away and goes after Kirby to explain the context of his sudden makeout session. Kirby doesn't listen to him and leaves the party while sobbing. Now back to being gloomy, Thomas heads to his rooftop to get some alone time. People notice him from the backyard and start chanting his name, which encourages him to jump off the roof and land on the inflatable castle his parents had rented and installed in the backyard for his birthday. Since the party is continuing to get louder, more neighbors file noise complaints, so the cops arrive in multiple patrolling cars this time. When they get near Thomas's house, they get outnumbered by the crazy kids, who start hurling glass bottles at their car windshields. Assaulting the cops like this gets their party featured on the news. Police also start air patrolling their block on their helicopters. Amidst the chaos, a fire breaks out somehow and grows rapidly. To tame the wild crowd, the cops finally send in a SWAT team and firefighters to put out the fire. The SWAT team throws gas bombs everywhere and creates a thick cloud of toxic gas, which has everyone coughing and covering their mouths. The crazy kids scatter around the block like ants and drive away from there while they're still drunk and high. Scenes abruptly cut to the next morning, in which Thomas faces his father outside the fully burned and crashed house. Thomas faces his father with embarrassment, but he praises him for throwing such a bonkers party. His remarks leave Thomas confused, as he was looking forward to scolding. Now, with boosted confidence, he heads to school, where he is recognized immediately and is treated like one of the popular kids. He also reconciles with Kirby and officially starts a relationship. Costa's footage is purchased by a famous late-night show host, Jimmy Kimmel, who titles their party as history's most entertaining and biggest party. Costa also starts getting called into live interviews for his directed movie. Here, the movie ends.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome recaps.